thing I would advise is always create an info record. And within this info record, the interesting thing is we're going to be creating an info record for supplier 1221. This is my domestic supplier. And I'm not going to be entering a material because when you're creating an indirect material procurement, especially with account assignment K, it is not mandatory for you to enter a material. And we're going to be talking about item categories and account assignment much later. But just have that as the back of your mind that whenever you're creating an indirect material procurement, you don't necessarily need to have a material. You can create it for a group because we classify the order on account assignment K as low value product or consumable product. So basically product that the business is willing to consume or they consume that product on a day-to-day basis. It could be like, office cleaning product. It could be office accessories or stationaries and so on. So those are the ones that are classified into this particular category, right? So here we're going to say supplier, we're going to leave the material blank and we're going to enter the plant. Of course, the purchasing organization has already been maintained. And after you've maintained this information, you want to leave the info category as standard and just go ahead and hit continue. So what happens here is, you see the system doesn't really necessarily need the material, but it does need a short text. So in this scenario, I'm just going to go for office supplies and cleaning product and also for the material group. So it's a mandatory entry to enter material group. So in this scenario here, I'm just going to select the material group right here. For expenses, it's either I use this one or I can check. I can also use P002 for material group expenses. Okay, so because these are not, stockable items, non-valuated items. So we can just keep it as expenses. And here you can also select the purchase order unit of measure. It could be units, it could be kilogram, whatever the case may be. It could be pounds, it could be each. So the sorting terms here, it could be sequentially sorted, maybe by 1, 2, 3, whatever. And also you can go to purchase order data 1 tab. And here you can define the planned delivery time. You can also enter the buyer and the total quantity you're willing to order. You can also make it unlimited supply. And also you can enter the net price. Let's say, for instance, it's going to cost $4 for each of the item that you're procuring from the specific supplier. It could be like some office supplies that are not that expensive. Okay. And then you can go to the condition tab and you can see here that I already have a condition schema set up. Okay, I have a pricing procedure, a pricing determination set up, and the system is already picking that up. Okay, and also you can select this line and go to the header data, or you can go to the details, or you can even go to additional data. It really just depends on what you want to see. In this scenario here, I'm just going to go to the header data, and here you can see the valid from to the valid to. So you can always, make this info record specified for a valid from to. Okay. Now, if you check and everything here looks fine, you can go ahead and hit save. So now it has created a purchasing info record. Okay. So you can see we have created an info record without necessarily entering a material.